ahead and call the meeting to order.
Are we starting?
Yes, we have. The video has started.
So everybody heard my Notre Dame fandom. It's been a rough couple of weeks. But
Sherry, do you mind to say the pledge? Move the flag also. Sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we're going to start off with the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Claims.
I'll make a motion to approve claims.
We have a motion. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Health Department.
We just turned in August reports. Do you have any questions? That's all that I have.
Okay. Mac, do you have any questions or anything like that? No. All right. I do want to say that I ran into our food inspection, Tammy Graham, out and about, and they were doing a field trip that day with others in the region, and I thought that was very nice that they hosted in our area and toured Holiday World, so I think that was a complimenting thing for our county to get to be a part of, so.
Yeah, I know she's got some educational things and other things that she wants to branch out on, so it's a very good.
Yeah, it was very nice.
She has something coming up in Dale soon, right? For home-based vendors?
Yeah, home-based vendors, yeah.
And all that's on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice, okay. All right, anyway, tell her thank you, and thank you. Okay, next we have the Sheriff's Department.
We don't have anything much. I do have my monthly summaries that I'll pass out to you all. Currently, we have 59 inmates in the jail. But things are going well, and we're waiting for the final approval in order to move forward on the opioid money for the drug take-back boxes.
Okay, so I think right now, we have a couple of requests for our opioid task force. And so we need to get that group together so we can discuss the other requests. So I saw Megan's, Megan. So,
Thank you.
thank you. Plan Commission, Kay is not in the room, but she did submit her report. I'll just read it. For August, we had $1.2.5 million worth of builds for a resident. Accessory buildings, we had $262,000. Additionals and remodels, we had $141,000 for building permits. For the total of 2025 building growth in our county, we had $13.49 million that have been requested. So I think that's great for our county to keep growing. Since Kay's not here, we'll just thank her. Thank you, Kay. Highway Department, Dale.
I have a couple things. I know we kind of talked a little bit about an ordinance for speed limits on gravel roads.
Oh, yeah. I had that in
Go.
new business.
And
Go ahead.
Sherry and I kind of talked about that too, because we've had a bunch of discussion on things, had a bunch of people calling in what the speed limits are. So I know like you and I talked, I think 30 mile per hour for all gravel roads would be the thing to do, but that's entirely up to you.
So Dale brought this to my attention. Well, we've been discussing it for a couple of days and a couple of weeks because of some issues. What is your recommendation on an ordinance to blanket gravel road speed limits? That way, if there's an issue, our sheriff department can handle it without it being an unknown. At least it's documented. 30 miles an hour is what Dale is requesting, and I guess we need to make a motion to approve.
Well, I was going to ask a question for both of you. Can it be ticketed if it's not posted? Like, you know, we can make an ordinance, but then does that mean we have to go back to every single gravel and post the speed limit for it to be ticketed?
So the,
This is an ordinance violation or is?
So the way I read it under an IC code is that in the state of Indiana, that's what you, Sherry, had sent to Dale today, which I think you and I had talked about it yesterday. If it's an IC code that a gravel road needs to be between 35 and 40 mile an hour, can you write a ticket?
Yeah, I mean, it would be presumed if it's not posted and it's in the IC code, because we're all presumed to know the Indiana codes, but that's why I was wondering if it was like an ordinance, if you were doing an ordinance violation or a state's meeting.
So if the IC is 35 to 40, would it effectively make the limit 40 and we could ticket above 40?
Well, it depends, because you can either decide for posted, violated posted speed limit, or I think if it's an ordinance, that, you know, if we put out the information to the public, and then maybe our first 6 months, if we do stop for it, we stop with education on only the warnings, to get people used to the law, and then we move forward from there.
What's your take, John?
Well, I mean, I think, first of all, just from what medium we use, I think whatever it is, I'd like to memorialize it in the county code by an ordinance, which would require 2 readings. And I could bring it back. Now, I confess I do not know how or what the state code is that could govern this. I mean, I'd have to look at that. I don't know that off the top of my head. I could do a little quick search, but if this is just a local ordinance, I would think we put it in our written ordinance, and then, belt and suspenders approach would be to actually post it as well.
Well, I would like to get that process started, if that's something that we can present at the next meeting as a first reading.
Yeah, I would like to table it for next meeting to make sure that it's something that coincides with the IC, that it's something that we can enforce, and we don't just have something out there that's almost unenforceable, or, then we gotta go back and post it, or, the extra things. So yeah, I think we gotta do something. And so I'll make a motion that we table this, and, Josh can provide some legal guidance as far as an ordinance.
I mean, again, this is subject to further review, but just what I can see real quick, it looks like the default is a max of 30 in an urban area and 55 on other roads. If you guys can lower it under certain circumstances, so I'm assuming you would be wanting to lower.
Well, I would like to request that we make it at 30 mile an hour for county gravel roads. But I guess you're asking for him to do the
My-
research.
Yeah, just make sure that it's something that's enforceable, that the sheriff, and, because then we would have to know, does it have to be posted? If it's just an ordinance, like you were asking if it's an ordinance violation, or
Yeah, 'cause we don't enforce ordinances, so I don't know how that process works, but in the state code, then you can handle that, so that would be a lot easier if it was.
matched whatever they are.
Yes, yeah.
I'll take a look.
Okay. Thank you.
And then I appreciate that, everybody's insight. The only other thing that I have is a one call,
Yes,
engineering.
yes. All right, so we have Rachel Steckler here with HWC that wants to present, so we'll let her take it from there.
Sure.
So this is just our general services agreement to do some community crossing estimates for the highway department.
All right. So are your fees listed on here?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm assuming we need to make a motion to accept this.
Yeah, I'll, I'll make a motion that we accept, HWC to handle some event for our community crossing.
We have a motion to accept the on-call engineering agreement through HWC, and I will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Just so the room is aware, right now is our time to start with the Community Crossings grant for 2026. So Dale has done a lot of work educating myself, and I'm assuming Mac and Jim, on what we need to do, and I think it's very important that we have an engineering firm that helps us look over those numbers. So thank you for being here today, Rachel. All right, next we have the burn ban. Everyone is hopefully aware that we had issued a burn ban last week on the 9th, and at this time, with the advisement from all of our fire departments, that still is in effect. So just want to make sure that that was mentioned today. Midwest Telecom, David Shipley. I know that you've given us some things, so we do have those already here. And you were going to briefly explain.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is kind of a two-part thing. One is just a update.
Okay,
You know,
perfect.
I mean, I want to keep us on the same page as to
Yes.
where we are. I mean, this process really started about 3.5 years ago when we put in the first cameras. And the intent was someday we would rewire the whole building and continue to improve technology, which over the past 3.5 years, that's happened. So recently, we actually completed the phone change out. I mean, we just did the sheriff's department literally, last week? This week? I don't know, times. Anyway, so, and in that, Melissa then called and canceled the AT&T bills that we had. So, we actually found a couple extra charges that we were paying, like, and we're in the process of getting all those canceled. So, I mean, it ultimately did work out great. It was a long process. We got Intermedia, the actual billing company for the new service, to give us 3 months of free service. So, because we knew the process was going to take a lot. So this is literally the first month that Intermedia is going to be billing us, even though we've had a lot of the departments on it. Now, that said, 3.5 years ago, we said someday, you know, when we get the whole building rewired and we have all this new equipment in place, we really need to look at the internet. You know, we couldn't look at it 3.5 years ago because you had dysfunctional wiring in the switches. But now we have all that in place. Monday controls the router, which is what connects to the internet. And we've got all brand new switches and new wiring. And, but what we still have right now for internet is somewhat dysfunctional. So the health department has a cable modem. Of course, you know, they have the fewest users, so they have the best setup. Then you have a cable modem for the third floor. And that may be shared by the clerk's office. Monday's moved some stuff around on us. So
Yeah, it said we have 3 feeds.
and then you have a third feed that is auditor, treasurer, veterans affairs, area plan. I mean, anybody else is lumped into the third feed. And everybody's feed's a little bit different speed. So they're not even the same speeds. And I don't know, Monday sent a letter through the judge, and I went up and talked to the judge, and we talked back and forth. I think the worst speed that you have right now is the cable modem that goes to the courts. And of course, sadly, they're one of the highest users because they do live stream all the time. You guys do live stream, but they do it, for first appearance like all the time. So obviously, they're experiencing the highest problem when they go live stream, which Monday pointed out. From a phone standpoint, or anybody using the internet, you're just using the internet, you may or may not experience problems depending on what the whole building's doing at that time. So, I'm not going to get technical, but a cable modem, if you imagine a highway, because I think it's the easiest way to imagine it, you've got a highway, and going east, which is the information coming to you. You've got a 10-lane highway, but going west, then, you know, when you return home, it's a 1-lane highway. That's how a cable modem works. It's like this.
Okay, so, I don't mean to interrupt you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We kind of did a little bit of research from the email that was sent.
Right.
And I've talked to Jim, and Mac and I have both spoke, and I think that was a great explanation, what you just said, and we kind of got that lowdown prior to you coming.
Right.
So I know Mac got a call out in regards to the one-way street coming in.
Yep.
So I think we're working on that. I guess today you were coming to tell us that we're finished with the phone part.
Yeah, finished.
And our new bill on a monthly basis is the 890?
This is the internet.
Okay,
There's nothing to do with the phone.
okay.
Okay.
That's what we pay
So-
right now, no matter
Yeah.
whether you were
No.
ever here or not?
No, that's not even a bill.
Okay.
That's nothing right
Okay.
now. That's simply some research.
Okay,
Research only.
okay.
So what I did was I said, okay, you've got, and I don't have the numbers, okay, but obviously money's going out for 3 cable modems. 1, 2, 3. So if you want to get those numbers and pull those bills, you'll see what you're paying for that. Okay?
Right.
There are 2 options to improve the internet, unless there's another provider that I'm not aware of, but you have AT&T and Spectrum, with the Sheriff's Department has both fiber in their building right now. So those are the 2 fiber options. What makes fiber different than a cable modem is 2 things. One is back to the highway. Right now you're going 50 miles an hour. Let's say fiber goes at 100 miles an hour. It's faster. Okay, fast. Also, it's 10 lanes both sides. Okay. So the live stream, that means both ways it works. Okay.
Correct.
So
With fiber.
on a pure dollar and cent thing, pure dollar and cent, you need to add 3 cable modems that you're paying for. All 3 of those need to go away and you go to fiber, and that fiber would be better for everybody. Everybody, even the health department would have a faster internet than what they have today. So everybody would have a faster internet, a quicker internet, larger internet. And then as technology goes, and 5 years from now or whatever, and you say, well, we need it faster, we just turn fiber up. It never outdates itself. But the good news is the Sheriff's Department is actually in a better seat than you are. Once you get fiber in your building and you get past the initial term, whether it's Spectrum or AT&T, I don't care who it is, and because they both are going to want a 3-year contract. You get past that initial term, now that it's physically installed, you're more in the driver's seat to get a lower price. So people say, well, does it go up in the future? Well, actually, it can go down.
So are all the Cat 6 cables that we got installed, if we went to fiber, is there any, is that a benefit as far as, data going back and forth, like you said, the 10-lane highway?
Yeah, so right now, let's say that computer is connected at 100 up and 100 down, but your cable modem is only 60 up and 5 down.
So if we went to fiber, we could utilize the infrastructure that we've already done for the phones.
Yeah,
because
that's why I said it's already set up.
Okay, I guess, so I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of his question. Once we were to receive fiber into the building, do we need any more updating of Cat 6 lines in the building?
The Cat 6 lines that are put in and basement, first floor, second floor, everything that you guys are brand new, 100%. That there's a
And
And I tested these old ones, but there's a little bit of old wiring in the courts in their old section. But I tested the judge and I said, you're still connected at a gig. Even on your old wiring. So if they increased it, you'd get a direct benefit. So I tested that because just that little section has some old wiring, but it still tests good.
Okay.
So to your point, let's say we got, and that's what that price from AT&T was. That was a gig up and down, okay? And you have gig wiring to the computer. Well, nobody really uses the full gig to the computer. But the good news about that is, let's say, like I said, 3 years, 5 years from now, we say, well, we're going to go to 2 gig on the internet. Well, one single person's not gonna use a gig, but if you have 2 gig coming in and everybody's dividing that up like a pie, I mean, it's gonna take a long time. You're gonna have an internet that's like a 10 gig or more before people's computers start saying, I can use, you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Okay. You're never gonna eat the whole pie. But right now, we're backwards in that operation.
Well, I think that's where MAC took the charge to reach out to our providers. So I think we're in the process of that.
So, the AT&T price I got, and I don't make anything, I don't care if you go with AT&T or Spectrum. But currently, right now, Sheriff's Department has AT&T fiber in their building. Because AT&T's come out with a new product, if you already have the fiber in your building, and they've had theirs they're out of contract, they're long enough. Amanda and I have looked at it, and she can now get gig up and down because the fibers aren't there for like under $200 a month.
Okay.
Okay, so dramatic savings. But we are on the beginning of that. We don't have physically fiber in our building. We've got to eat the crow. Spectrum doesn't have a lower price product like that right now.
Okay.
So that's why I was kind of saying, well, maybe we should go with the AT&T product or with the Spectrum product, because I think what Amanda and I talked about in the Sheriff's Department is, I think we're going to use AT&T as the primary in the Sheriff's Department because they're offering such a great deal, and they're going to keep their Spectrum cable modem as a failover because they can't be out. Okay, 2 different services. Either way, I mean, the other option, and I don't know, like why isn't PSCI all the way into the city? Who controls that? Why, or other services like that?
I think that has to do with the service provider and the poles. Centerpoint.
Who controls that?
I guess the
Well,
IURC,
yes, it's not,
it's a state,
Okay, so
it's the
thing.
state,
Okay.
it's the
Nothing we can do
US.
about that. So
No.
our 2 options are back to.
People would love it if we could do something about that.
Correct.
We can't.
Yeah, our 2 options are back to Spectrum and AT&T. That's our 2 options.
Yes. I
AT&T
guess, so my question from a Midwest Telecom, all that we ask you to do is now complete. All of our phones are going and lines are ran.
Yeah.
So I think that this is my recommendation to the board, that we continue not to let this slip. This is urgent.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this a little bit before. So thank you for completing this.
Ultimately, I don't really make money on this. I don't have hardware to sell to you. This is just I see a need that needs to be addressed, and I hear it when I walk around the courthouse, and the message
Well, I
is
mean,
not getting clear.
I was sent the email on Friday, and I think it's an urgency that we will take into. It's not consideration, it's just we are on the path of deciding what we need to do, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we have an answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
to me,
I-
2
I
weeks is
am-
too long, but,
I am a resource of information.
all right.
You can certainly bounce both ideas off of me, because the hard part is let's say you get a price from Spectrum and AT&T, well, you don't really know what you're looking at in comparison. You don't know the industry, and so you gotta be careful.
Yeah. No, we'll absolutely loop you and Egg-Monday in because you guys are you've got the wires and Egg-Monday's our provider. So yeah, your expertise is valued for sure.
Yeah. Because like I said, I don't have any hardware to sell to you or anything. I'm just trying to get us to the picture where it benefits everybody.
Okay, well, I appreciate your update. Thank you so much, David.
Thanks.
Okay, prosecutor's office, Megan Bennett.
I had submitted a request, if you haven't noticed, I'm rather large and will be gone in a couple weeks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But we have some jury trials that we think may happen while I'm gone on my leave. And we have money in that position because it hasn't been billed in a year. So we were just requesting that if we go to trial, and we can have a standard prosecutor that get paid hourly,
to help the chief deputy in the office with any responsibilities if that happens.
Okay. You're saying that it's already budgeted for, so,
Yes, we
If
haven't used
that's-
any of that money this year since last August,
so you just need us to motion that we add that temporary.
Yes,
Secretary.
yes, if that comes up.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Megan. Good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, EMA is not able to be here today. Events that we have a St. Bernard's PTO looking to host a walkathon fundraiser for Friday, October 3rd in the morning from 8:30 to 11:30. They would like to utilize the courthouse lawn for the students' activities. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yeah, what is the regular procedure? Do we have liability that we? Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve.
We have a motion. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Second request is a Better Hatfield. They have September 27th from 8 to 11. They would like to ask for the road to be closed from roads 900 to Bennett Street, Old 66 Cemetery to 850 West, and the intersection at 100 and 500.
Is this for the car show?
It's for the car show. Do
This-
they have?
For the past couple of years, right?
Yeah, usually we just take the barricades down there and they take care of it, and when they're done, we go back.
And the main reason for these requests are to make sure that our emergency management and 911 and police are aware in case of an emergency at any of these residents. They're known to go a different route.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, legal report?
I don't have any action items for you guys. We stay busy with several different departments on various things and kept you guys informed on a few of those, but yeah, no action items today.
All right, I would like to ask that, what is our normal procedure if someone needs your service that, it's budgeted under the commissioner's budget for you as our legal counsel? What is your recommendation on other departments reaching out to you? Because it gets billed under our budget.
Yeah. There isn't a one-size-fits-all answer, to be frank. Different counties handle it differently. Some folks will allocate or will have a budget for each different department, in which case, they're on their own. Or it could go through the commissioners, in which case sometimes there is more of a desire to keep control over what gets sent and what doesn't. So I think it's sort of what you guys prefer. I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong answer. I think it just makes sense for what you're confronting and what you want.
What are your thoughts, Mac?
Yeah, I don't know, because it is so, it'd be a diverse amount of questions. And, some of them, it might just
I mean-
add an additional step, and then some that could be resolved, but something we've dealt with before too.
Yeah, and also, it's one of these too where there are certain individuals and departments that are abusing that. Might make sense to
What if we put in
have
like a
conversations with
request?
with that particular department. Because I don't,
Can it just be an email that
yeah.
the
so
three
you-
commissioners
and
approve?
we have to keep it, yeah.
Well, I mean, because what could happen is we've come in with a large amount, then we have to go to the council and ask for the extra funds, and, Justin doesn't always like that. What the rest of your group would think, but.
Yeah, that works.
So do we need to make a motion, or do we need
Yeah, I
to
think
write
that would be
something
good.
up?
How about we write up a policy?
Yeah,
Okay.
Give us more thought.
let's table it, and discuss policy
We
next
can do
time.
that.
Alright, so we'll table it today, and you'll bring it to us at the next meeting?
Yep.
Alright, thank you, Josh. I'm glad you brought Frank to the table. Old business,
I've got something. So, earlier in the year, we had created a credit card ordinance to, assist some of the departments with their, expenses. They've got vendors that don't invoice, that require credit card for application. Then we also have conferences coming up. And so basically our ordinance is pretty clear that this is, used for business only. You're subject to SBOA, detailed item receipt. And so we've had 4 departments that have requested, to have that use, and it's the clerk, prosecutor, highway, and health, and I sent it to you guys. And I'm ready to make a motion that we approve, all 4 of those applications, and, I'll get with, Melissa on getting that started.
all right. So we have a motion to proceed with the credit card process for the elected official departments. I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Any other old business? The only other new business that I had is to approve the Midwest Telecom Communication. There was a $20,800, it's asking to use the COVID money that we still have left. I'm asking for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Any other new business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.